Hey, this is Carlo of 4GQ here at San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm here with
Alex Seaver.
Hey, Alex, nice to meet you.
Great to meet you.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure, yeah. I'm a musician. I started as a French horn player, and then I turned into a DJ, and then songwriter, producer, and now I've worked my way back into film scoring, so I do the music for the show Arcane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big series.
It's fun. It's very fun. Yeah, it's a bear. It's a lot of music.
Is it?
Yeah.
So how much music did you make for that series?
So it's a pretty fun soundtrack because we do an entire pop soundtrack that adds on to the full orchestra score that you'd normally expect. So I co-composed the score with another composer named Alex Temple, and then I'm the executive producer for the soundtrack. So season 1 we did about 11 songs and wrote them to picture, and every episode features a big song, almost like a music video moment. So it's a lot of music on both sides, full orchestra stuff, full pop stuff.
So when it comes to doing the music for Arcane, did you do the music like before you actually saw the project?
Some of it. So on the score side, Alex Temple and I were developing some themes, just motifs and stuff like that, the way you might normally. On the song side, it was interesting where we're getting those early animations. So it's very crude looking. It's beautiful, but it's pencil sketched, and then trying to basically like film score a song onto that, being like, all right, I've got a minute here. I need to make use of it. I'll do a verse here, pre-chorus here, chorus here, and just pray that they don't edit the picture down and mess up all the hard work you do. So we start pretty early in the process.
What was the most difficult part of working on Arcane for you, or the most challenging?
Yeah, the most challenging was probably just learning the right order of events to write a song to picture when you're dealing with animation. Because like I said, like if we went too far along too quickly before animation caught up, then we'd be at risk of something happening. They need to shorten the scene, normal filmmaking stuff. And unlike score is a little easier to bob and weave because you can be like, all right, I'll just cut this section, I'll make it a 7/8 bar, and then off to the races with a song. You're like, no, the second this thing starts, you really can't make any weird left turns. You got to like stay on the train that you've built. And I think that was the learning curve, was like, okay, don't write all the way to the finish line too early. Sketch, move on to another one, keep developing, and then come back to it.
Now, did you have to also create different types of, let's say, tempo for the moods of the characters or the moods of the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a big conversation. So in the story of Arcane, it kind of takes place between these two worlds. There's like this Piltover above ground world and this dark, seedy underworld called Zaun. And every character we're writing for and location we're writing for had its own version of that, like a dark, moody theme versus something that's sort of aristocratic and upper scale. Each of the characters go through these arcs that are sort of, some of them become slightly villainous, some of them become more heroic, and some of them are just tragic. So all of that stuff was really important to make sure it's consistent across the whole story.
When you go to create projects like this, do you draw inspiration from any other composers or films that you've seen?
It's usually a conversation that we're all having. I mean, there is temp score for these things, so we're already hearing other great film scores, and for Arcane, other great songs that are in temp there that we're hearing. But with Arcane, it was really about, let's do something different. Let's try not to copy a thing that we've heard a million times before. The showrunner for the show, his name's Christian, he's really good about being like, nah, I feel like I've heard this kind of thing already. Let's go a different direction with it. And that's one of the fun things about working with him, is that he'd just hear a thing and he'd be like, this bar needs an old Motown song. And you're like, I wouldn't have thought to do that. Like it really needs somebody that's like trying to do something different to really embrace it.
That's pretty interesting. So you took I guess from the feedback, different moments of the pieces of music, you added something to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of the stuff we're also like world building the same way that they are with the animation. Like, this is a fantasy world. What would they listen to when they're in a bar? What would they listen to? And so, we're creating little fake bands that have strange instruments and doing things that we wouldn't normally do to just kind of like invent the sound in the same way that they're inventing everything that you're seeing.
Do you have a favorite track?
The one, I probably have two. The finale we did with Sting. He sang the finale, and I got to write and produce the whole thing. And that was a really, really special experience because it was terrifying until we finally started working with him, and he was lovely. And then it became a really impactful moment for the audience because it's like the last scene of the entire season, ends on a cliffhanger, and it's this Sting song. So it's just like, doesn't get much better than that. Like, that was probably a peak moment for me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool.
That is like mind blowing right there. That you got to do something so cool like that and collab with somebody who's so well known.
Yeah.
Imagine Dragons too.
Yeah, Imagine Dragons. So they did the title song. Enemy was like the main theme.
JID.
And then with JID, I never know if it's JID or JID. He's amazing, by the way. And then they animated the band into the show in episode 5, and you see him playing and everything. It's really cool.
Wow. I'm mind blown by this already.
Yeah.
I'm behind the camera, but I got this so sick. I'm like, damn, I should do this interview.
Is there any other projects that you can talk about that you're?
Well, season 2's coming out in November, so like that's been the big push. And we're in post production, so a lot of us are just finishing it up right now, writing the music. A lot of cool things coming with that. And then I'm working on a new animated project with Netflix right now. But yeah, really just the last 5 years of my life has been Arcane season 1 and Arcane season 2. So I'm just very excited to like put it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Crazy. Are you a League fan, by the way?
Yeah, so Riot Games, who makes the game League of Legends, they develop Arcane.
Right.
And, I've been writing music for Riot Games for like 8 or 9 years. I do a bunch of the songs for their big esports events and stuff like that. A lot of the, they'll release a new champion and like they'll do a music video for it, stuff like that. So I've been doing music there for a long time. And then when Christian was like, by the way, I'm doing this little TV show, do you want to get involved? I was like, okay. And then he showed me the pilot and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is incredible. And so now, like, of course, everybody at Riot, we're like, let's figure out how to make more things that are like amazing like this and weave the characters from League into, different media projects.
That's it.
That's amazing. Well, I'm mind blown by all the cool stuff that you've done, and the fact that you work, compose for the video game industry. That's even cooler. I'm a huge fan of video games.
Yeah,
so
same.
It's just it's a fun field to be in, and when you enjoy what you do, it makes it so much
it's
better.
the best. Yeah, it's literally the best.
Living the dream.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it was nice meeting you.
Great to meet you.
Thank you so much. And I do have one icebreaker question I ask at the end. So, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
When I was younger, yes. Now, no.
What?
Yeah, I think I'm growing out of it. Yeah.
Nice. Don't listen to him. You got the right answer.
Great to meet you, man.
You too. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.